start recording. Hello, I'm Dave. I'm the liaison from Flight to the College of Business, and today we're going to talk about Simmons OneView. Simmons uses data from the National Consumer Survey to generate a great deal of data on demographics for United States adults. And we're going to use Simmons to create some crosstabs to get some demographic data and information about consumers for your particular project. So to access Simmons, you'll want to go from the Flight Library page to our course guides. Actually, there's several ways you can get to it, but this is the way I'm going to show you today. I'm going to go to the College of Business course guides and click Go. And here are all of the College of Business guides that I have created. I'm going to pick Marketing 321 for today. There are some tutorials, as well as this tutorial on this particular page. So if you ever get stuck, feel free to glance at some of the tutorials for Simmons. You can see Simmons is right here under the Demographics tab on this page, so I want to go into Simmons. All right, so we're going to proceed into the Simmons database itself. So when you open Simmons, it opens up what is known as the Smart Search. And while you can use Smart Search for your data, it can be a little overwhelming because you'll get a lot of different results based upon whatever it is you're searching. So I'm going to recommend you go to the dictionary search. It's a little simpler to use. It has a little more visual cue for you, and it can help. Now the first thing you'll want to do is probably change the default search to the NCHS. That's the National Consumer Survey. I usually recommend going for the 12-month survey versus the 6-month survey. You'll just have a little bit more data to work with. These are all of the categories that Simmons uses for their survey. So you can see there's lots of different categories here. This is where you'll see the results of those particular subjects. Then over here is where we build our crosstab. Bases is going to be the base that you want your results on. Generally, I recommend you leave that alone, and that'll be the results of all adults. Or you could put in things like, if you're interested in the difference between maybe males and females, or people who own a home, or things of that nature, you can put them in your base. Column is where you're going to put your product or service. Rows, the demographic information you're interested in. Things like age, income, household status, homeowners, children, those types of things can go there. So obviously you can go through a lot of these particular categories and figure it out. You just open up the menu by clicking the little triangle there. But you can also do a search. And it does help to spell it right. So, trying to do a search for chocolate. And these are the categories where chocolate appears in the survey from the 2020 spring semester. The reason it's a little behind is our subscription is an academic subscription, so we don't have to spend as much money as we would for the current product. So that's why it's a little bit behind. So these are the categories where chocolate appears. I'm going to look at food, snacks, and desserts. And you can see here I have chocolate and other candy. And you notice here are the different questions that were asked on the survey. So do you eat? That would be a yes or no. But if you want to look for things like MO, that's going to be most often. Or other things you eat. Brands eaten most often. And then there's a summary. So I'm interested in the brands. I'm curious to know what brands of food chocolate people eat. And I'm going to probably base it on age. So if I click that, you will see all of the different brands of chocolate. You can see it's quite a large list. Now I can pick and choose and drag those over into my columns, or I can just take the whole batch and stick them over here in my columns. You can see there's 88 different types of candy bars. Told you this is a pretty detailed survey. So probably more than you want, but again, this is just a demonstration. Okay, I'm going to clear out my search. The category you're going to use a lot, especially for your rows, is under lifestyle demographics. That's where you're going to get all the demographic stuff that you're probably most interested in your particular survey. Here you can see things like gender, age, race, highest education level, and so forth. Lots of good things here. So I'm going to bring up age. Notice we have a range of single years, to some smaller ranges, to some larger ranges, and so forth. It's just how the survey is designed. I'm going to start with the 22 to 24. I find single years to give me kind of very unstable results because it's the statistics. So I'm going to pick 22 to 24 to 70 to 74. I just highlighted those. Then I'm going to drag that over into my rows. So you can see here I have 11 different age groups in my rows, 88 different kinds of candy bars. I'm leaving my base as all adults. I'm now going to run the crosstab with the arrow up here at the top. So what this is going to tell me is the people of different ages that eat different types of candy bars. So you can see here we have the name is rather large. We have chocolate and other candy bars eaten most often, and this is a $100,000 bar. I don't know if you've heard about that one before. So you can click the little ellipses there if the column is too big for you to read the entire thing. The important column here, and I'm going to make it just a little bit bigger, is this index. Whenever you see a number over 100, that means people in that category are more likely to answer yes to that particular question, because that's the brand they eat the most often. If it's less than 100, they're less likely to have eaten that particular candy bar. So I'm just going to scroll over here a couple more, and you can see here's the Fifth Avenue bar. Some of these are kind of older chocolate bars you may not have ever heard of, but I just wanted to point out that the index value is very important. So you can see here in this particular brand, which is Almond Joy tends to be a little more popular with the older crowd. You can see that here as the numbers get larger as we get older. Not sure why. I personally don't like Almond Joys. I'm not a coconut fan. But the younger people don't tend to like Almond Joys. So you can see here that's going to give you some demographic data on your particular candy bar. So if you were advertising or selling, you probably want to focus your advertising on the older crowd for Almond Joy. So that's how that works. Again, you can do any types of these you want. You could certainly add more to that. And the other thing you do, if you want to redo your search, you could clear out the candy bars and completely do a new search, but you can still keep your rows. So it's all very good. I recommend you export this. This doesn't print very well, so you'd want to export that into either Excel or a CSV, and you could certainly do that. So that is Simmons. So I'm going to go back quickly to your course guide page. On here, you will note way down at the bottom there's a link to my contact information. You can certainly send me an email if you have a basic question about Simmons or any of the other tools that you may use for your particular assignment. Or if you want to schedule a meeting with me, you can certainly do that. Just click there. I can meet with you in the library. And remember, I have chocolate. Or online via Zoom. Either way, this will open up a calendar. This will show you the various times I have available on that particular day. Just click a time. It's acting weird today. I'll have to fix that. You click continue, fill in your information, and then confirm appointment. That will send me a note letting you know you're coming, and I will be happy to meet with you. So if you have any other questions about this or other library things, please don't hesitate to reach out, and I wish you the best of luck. Thank you.